Good afternoon, everybody. It's a late start today because I've been doing stuff this morning and kind of woke up late. We are going to go play badminton, which is something I love to do, and I haven't done it in a really long time, so I'm really excited to actually go play.
People celebrate. I blame Christians for being so soft and featherweight. You're supposed to expose daughters, they say I'm spreading hate. On the gay issues, on the gay laws. Was that they having gay friends and became something? Got off. I guess you really want that misery. If you offended the world, you guys and me. Look at the
There's like no one here. It's so empty. Did you see her stare?
Yeah, I said she's
like,
staring us down. She's like,
where are y'all masks? You know she couldn't say anything because we're all minorities, so.
oh, crap. Dang it! What? Bro, I'm so scared. You have to jump. Think of it like box jump. Just do it. That was good.
Alright, we are on the way to my friend Rachel's house. A lot of you guys wanted us to talk about some controversial issues facing the conservative movement and facing America in general. And what better way to talk about that than to talk about our biggest political pet peeves and what we find so annoying about either party, the Democratic or the Republican, the left or the right. I thought that this would be a fun way to really talk about some important issues. Rochelle is with me, and Rochelle, Rachel, and I have all been in the political sphere for a little bit of time, and I just thought it would be fun to get some different perspectives. So we are on the way to Rachel's right now, and then we're going to be heading to Starbucks and Sonic to get us some drinks. And I just want to thank Rochelle for driving me, because today while I was at the gym I threw my back out. I am functioning, but it's been a not so great day, so I would not have been able to record this video if it were not for Rochelle. So, you know, everybody give Rochelle some love in the comments, because she a real G.
I'm good.
I had to bribe her to come on this trip because she was watching a show, and I had to tell her that she was my MVP in order for her to come.
She called me a nobody.
I didn't call her a nobody.
You did.
I did not.
You did.
I didn't.
You did.
I literally said I was upset because Shekinah and Mikkel were also going to come. And then Rochelle was upset because she thinks I included her in the nobody when I actually didn't include her in the nobody.
Looking at.
Alright, Rachel is now with us. So my camera died, but we have Rachel now. You're just gonna stare at the camera.
Hello. Hi.
And then we have Rochelle driving us. So we're gonna go to Starbucks and Sonic because Rochelle wants Starbucks and Rachel wants Sonic, and I need gas.
The Sonic is right here. Why don't we just stop at the Sonic? What if we don't make it around the driveway? That'll be funny. That'll be funny.
Stuck.
Are you gonna carry the gas in your hand and bring it back to the trunk?
What was that?
You have a gas can?
I'm not feeling super great. I think that's because of my back being thrown out. Pain translates into nausea. And then Rochelle's got a headache. So we're just functioning over here. And Rachel's just the iron deficient girl. No, I'm kidding. Now Shekinah wants to come?
Wow. She did tell you to text her the address. A large blue coconut slushie.
Can I have a strawberry slushie with nerds, please? And I want a medium size.
Okay. And I thought I was weird.
Where's
they still rollerblade? I mean, not rollerblade, skate. Because rollerblade is completely different.
I don't know.
Danielle, ask her.
Hey, I have a question.
Oh my God. She looks so irritated.
You have to ask her.
Shut up, ask her.
Okay, we have a question.
Okay.
So, you know, Sonic's typical thing is that you guys roller skate.
Yes.
So does the Sonic...
roller skate or regular skate?
You can roller skate, but I don't know how.
That should be like a Sonic requirement. You have to learn
not really.
I think he doesn't want to because it's too much of a
liability.
Yeah,
That makes sense. By the way, your eyeliner's on fleek.
Thank you. Let me head in here. Bye, guys.
All right,
Bye.
see ya. Okay, so you know what I do at Starbucks? What? I asked them to make me a drink that they would make for their friend. So you know what you should do? You should ask them Make a drink you would make
Do
for
I
your
trust
political
them?
hero.
Because, well, thanks. Because
Political hero.
9 times out of 10, they're probably a Democrat, and I don't want nothing a Democrat wants.
Okay, so we're doing this on political pet peeves. So I thought it'd be fun to go around. Shekinah!
Where?
Rashaya!
Nowhere.
Why does she look so done with life?
She does.
Y'all, she just literally pulled out of the parking lot.
Hello? Where you going? Huh?
I'm leaving.
Why?
Did you just get here?
China.
Hey, what's up?
Wow! So you're gonna greet her with a smile, but not me?
She actually likes me, dude.
Get out.
We're gonna go around and we're gonna share our greatest political pet peeve. And it can be about the conservative movement, the left movement. What makes you go crazy?
Okay, well, I'll go first. For me, I'm gonna talk about the conservatives.
Oh no.
I think they need a new backbone because I think theirs is broken. They're like pushovers.
That's true. That's
And
really
they're
true.
not culturally aware of everything that's going around. And I think that's why the left attracts to people more, because they actually know what's going on in the world. And they, although the left does try to appeal to everybody,
They make things that they know appeal to people.
that's my problem with the left though. You can still appeal to people without pushing a negative agenda.
First thing that pops into my head is I have a problem with platforms that are built on pathos appeal. Like, it's all emotional appeal. All the things they talk about, all their messages come from an emotional
Is this more with,
perspective or stance.
is this a particular side or just both?
It's more so with liberals. I've also seen it with just different organizations. I had an article that was like posted, and it was like telling Democrats how to get Republicans to side with them on issues, and it was like you can't talk about facts, talk about your common interest or
See, that's just
emotion. And I was like,
love facts.
I was like, that doesn't make it. I was like, is this implying that we don't believe in facts? So I just have like an issue with people are like, oh well, you have to come from an emotional standpoint. And you have to appeal to people's emotions in order to get them to side with you, and I think that's ridiculous.
That's so true though, honestly.
Well, even with the church, like, if you set aside from politics, I know we're talking about political pet peeves, but the church is guilty of doing the same thing with like emotional appeal, and it's all about self and how much God loves you and how much you're worthy, and you're coming from it from like an emotional sense,
But
that like it's in sense of entitlement. That's what.
Yeah,
it's
but it's
creating.
not just about God loving you, it's about, do you love God?
Right.
And if you love God, you'd follow his commandments, because the Bible literally says, if you love me, you'll follow my commandments.
All right, Shekinah.
Why?
I know you, because I know you'd be sitting there. You would be on Instagram. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video about this.
I hate when people act like there's not objective truth. It's so irritating. It's like, well,
I've experienced this.
you cannot base what we live by off of one person's experience. People love to do that. So black people are like, well, I experienced this with the criminal justice system. I'm sorry about that, but that doesn't mean that the criminal justice system at large is flawed from a discrimination standpoint. I can't stand that. So there can be a certain person that's within the system that's bad and made a bad judgment. That doesn't mean the whole system is predicated on racist ideas. There's so many different topics where it's like, you can't base how we live and the facts that we gather based off of someone's personal experience. There has to be some type of objective truth, and you can't gain that by just saying, well, someone experienced it, and so that's the way it is for everybody. That's not reality.
And I do think too that conservatives can fall into this too. And I know I've fallen into it. It can be like, all of my black friends experience this type of racism, and then I can come back and say, well, I don't know a single person experienced that, but maybe that could be just my experience. Maybe just my friends didn't experience racism, but maybe yours did. So that's why you, like you said, you have to go back to objective truth. Okay, so is America racist? Is it not? It sort of proves a point that, okay, you can say you have your experience. That doesn't define my experience.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing that you, like, if you're gonna say that, you have to combat it with, well, look, just because you're saying that this is your experience doesn't mean it's everyone else's. Which proves the point that it's not systemic like you claim it is.
Yeah.
There's so many different cultures and so many different.
Yeah, like everybody
just
experiences
experiences.
something in life. Like,
Right.
we always go through trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
It's really how you deal with them that determines your character and the person that you want to be. So if you're gonna use that, don't use that to hinder yourself. Don't be using that to become a victim.
Yeah.
Well, and you
like,
can't use it to define a country either, and how
Exactly.
in the country system.
And how the country
That
operates.
just define.
And that's exactly why
Exactly.
this country is going down the drain. Because now we're literally basing our laws and our decisions and our policies as a country on people's experiences
And
and emotions and their feelings.
Yeah,
and how it
definitely
feels
emotion.
good.
Emotion is just so high. Like, it's a number one thing. Of course, like, we all have emotions. We're humans, but emotions only take you so far. Like, what are the facts? What can you use to back this up? Like, you can have an opinion. Sure. Everybody has an opinion, but at the end of the day, what else do you offer?
and your emotions are valid. Like, it's based on your experience and your perception of the world, but it's like you have to link that and associate it with reasoning. You can't
Exactly.
just live and be driven by emotion.
Exactly.
That's why
Yeah,
depressed and
honestly,
anxious everybody
I was
is.
gonna say, I think that's why people are so depressed today, is because they just are taught that every single one of their emotions is validated and they should be feeling the way they feel, and it's not their fault, it's everybody else's fault, and so everybody's just taught to be a victim.
Reacting based off of the emotion that they're feeling, and that's what's creating the problem.
I think probably one of my biggest things is hypocrisy. I hate hypocrisy. I see it in the conservative movement and I see it in the leftist movement. You see, for instance, pick AOC. He pretended to care so much about the quote-unquote border crisis when Trump was in office, but she says if you talk about the border crisis now, it's racist.
And it's white supremacist.
Yeah,
It's an imperialism issue.
And
it's
then
a climate issue.
she wants to talk about how white men are the problem, white men are the patriarchy, and she's literally dating and living with a white man.
Voted
That
for
is
white people.
hilarious
voted
to
for
me.
white
Like, you, like, they be like, "Oh, y'all are so racist," but you literally went from one white president to the next. Like,
And then
Someone
you dated
who
a
is
white man.
against desegregation.
the top 5 Democratic candidates for president are
All white.
all white.
And I know this is really controversial. But I see this in the conservative movement too, when some of the top conservative leaders condemned everybody at the Capitol in January. And that showed a lot of hypocrisy, because what they should have done was back up people. But every conservative leader was too afraid to call out the hypocrisy of the left, and instead decided to call out their own people, which makes absolutely no sense.
Well, especially, I think the most irritating thing about that was them had been talking for a year about what was going to potentially happen if the election went the direction that we didn't want it to go in. Not that we didn't want it to go in, but based off of election fraud and mail-in ballots, they've been talking about probably what was potentially going to happen on the conservative side. And then they just totally backed down and shifted the whole conversation.
Well, everybody, we've come to the end of the vlog today. I know that you guys wanted us to cover some more controversial issues. I'm going to continue to talk about some different things, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. I definitely had fun. You guys will probably get this tonight or tomorrow morning. So if you do, hope you have a wonderful day. I hope it's productive, and I will see you in the next video. Always remember, be you, be authentic, and put God first. Bye!